Dale Earnhardt Jr. feels liberated to tell the story of his history with concussions and racing in his upcoming book, Racing to the Finish. Earnhardt talked about the book and more in an appearance Wednesday on NBCSN's The Dan Patrick Show, ahead of his first weekend as an analyst on NBCSN's NASCAR coverage. "When I was racing, I didn't want to spend my final season trying to tell everybody this story," Earnhardt said. "I just wanted to enjoy one last year and not let it be dominated by headlines of concussions and things I had maybe hid from people and not shared with people openly. Finally, once I got out of the car, I'm like, you know what? I can finally try to tell this story. Not everybody's going to be real happy with me, but hopefully it helps people understand if they're making the same mistakes that I made." Earnhardt also discussed his new life off the track with his wife Amy and the first child, Isla Rose. "Those type of things have a way of maturing you super fast and forcing you to change your lifestyle and the way you think," Earnhardt said. "I really am frustrated with myself that I didn't do this sooner, that I didn't get married sooner, that I didn't have children sooner. I know I had a lot of fun in my 20s and in my 30s. I realize now how great these experiences are. Frankly, I wish I could have started sooner and enjoyed those at a younger age." Watch more from Earnhardt's appearance on The Dan Patrick Show in the videos above and below. Dale Earnhardt Jr. makes his big debut this weekend as a race analyst for NBC Sports NASCAR coverage. While taking part in a huge media tour in New York City to promote NBC's coverage, Earnhardt sat down with former competitor and neighbor Ryan Blaney. Earnhardt shared that he's weirded out by the prospect of regularly interviewing drivers and even his former crew chief, Greg Ives. "I was talking to Greg Ives the other day at basketball and I was like, I'm going to come up in your trailer, are you okay with that?" Earnhardt said. "I'm going to be on the other side, it's going to be super weird. I don't have any interviewing experience." Earnhardt and Blaney also discussed the shared experience of having appeared on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live. Watch the above video for the full discussion. This weekend's NASCAR racing at Chicagoland Speedway starts a long summer grind for the series. None of the final 10 regular season races will be held at identical tracks. The two tracks that most resemble one another are the 1.5-mile facilities of Kentucky and Chicago. According to NASCAR America analysts Steve Letarte and Carl Petty, this is one of the biggest storylines heading into NBC and NBCSN's portion of the TV schedule. July and August will push a crew chief to do television, Letarte said. "These variety of racetracks are great for the fans. They're great for the competitors for the opportunity to make the playoffs, but what they do is rob the current playoff teams of a chance to get better." Petty observed the opportunity to gamble is at the upcoming 10 tracks. "Some of these race tracks out here, there are places where you can roll the dice," Petty said. "To win will be huge. To lose will send you home, and that's how simple it is. The scenarios are going to be out of control." The analysts also discussed how moving the Chicagoland race from September to July will impact racing. "The track is going to be well over 90 degrees, the track is going to be crazy hot," Letarte said. "At a track that's already low on grip, I think that favors some different drivers. Kevin Harvick comes to mind, I know he's good everywhere. But I'm thinking Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is the type of guy that when you get rim riding, have to back the corner up, be very patient on the throttle. He comes to mind as a guy that would suit this style of racing. Watch the above and below videos for more. Today's episode of NASCAR America airs from 5 to 6 p.m. ET and looks at the big storylines in the sport this week. Marty Snyder hosts with Steve Letarte and Kyle Petty from NBC Charlotte. Dale Earnhardt Jr. joins them from New York City. Dale Jr. is making the rounds in New York City ahead of his first race from the booth at Chicagoland. We will catch up to where he ended up throughout the day. Get involved in the second installment of Beat the Broadcasters, as the NBC Fantasy League is about to get started with just 10 races left to the playoffs. Rutledge Wood with an uncomfortable interview, discussing pineapple pizza on National Pineapple Day. An incredible story of K. If can't catch today's show on TV, watch it online at http://nascarstream.nbcsports.com. If you plan to stream the show on your laptop or portable device, be sure to have your username and password from your cable, satellite, telco provider handy so your subscription can be verified. Once you enter that information, you'll have access to the stream. Click here at 5 p.m. ET to watch live via the stream. Brett Moffitt, whose playoff hopes were in question this week, will compete in Friday's Camping World Truck Series race after Hattori Racing Enterprises secured sponsorship. Moffitt disqualified for the playoffs with his 2 wins but must start every race to be eligible. The team was unsure last weekend if it would have the funding to compete at Chicagoland Speedway. The team announced sponsorship Wednesday from FR8 Auctions and Northland Foundations Inc. for this weekend. FR8 Auctions was with Moffitt in the 2015 Cup season finale in Miami. I cannot thank Marcus Bella and FR8 Auctions enough, along with Northland Foundations, for coming on board this weekend at Chicagoland, said Moffitt, third in the points, in a statement from the team. It was extremely special to win the Rookie of the Year title in the Cup Series with them 3 years ago, and this is even better. Last week at Gateway, we weren't sure what our status was for this weekend, and having them come on board has given us the chance to race for another win this week at Chicago. I knew it was only a matter of time before more people realized what this team and organization is capable of, and hopefully we can put FR8 Auctions in victory lane on Friday night. Moffitt's 2 wins, Atlanta and Iowa, this season trail only Johnny Sauter, who has won 4 of the first 10 races. The truck race is at 9 p.m. Eastern Time Friday. Follow at Dustin Long and on Facebook.